the River Lee at Ware. Last time I was here was on a glorious sunny summer's day, and now it's a glorious sunny winter's day. 22nd of December, the day after the winter solstice. I really like Ware. It's got a really lovely feel to it. These Lee Valley towns have a really special feel to them, as they are set on the banks of the sacred River Lee. We're not here today to explore the beautiful ancient town of Ware. We're here today to go mound hunting in the hills above Ware. It's kind of like a hippie shop here, which I feel is the perfect place to go before going to a burial mound.
The following extract was originally published in 1727. At the extremity of this parish are two large barrows on the brink of the hill which overlooks Thundridge Church, between which and the barrows is the course of the Rib. This place is called Haven End, probably for having been the harbour where the Danes laid up their vessels, which they brought from the Thames to Ware and Hertford to carry off their plunder.
These little lanes here are really delightful, aren't they? I've ended a few walks in Ware, but actually don't think I've started one here before. It's about 1:15, I think. 20 past 1 according to the church tower clock. It'd be really easy to get waylaid here, but I can't afford to, otherwise I'm not going to run out of daylight. So I need to find the old Roman Ermine Street and head north. I ended a really amazing mound hunting walk in Ware with very wet feet, and had to go into Tesco's and buy some new socks and sit on the bench outside that church there and change my socks, which was an incredible feeling. And that was pretty much 3 years ago to the day. Now, picking up the old Roman Ermine Street, heading north. This was the Roman road to Lincoln, and I think it joined another Roman road that went on to York. A very significant road. And along the Ermine Street, you do find a number of prehistoric sites, many of which actually are pre-Roman, suggesting that perhaps there was already a pre-existing trackway here. I'm not sure if that's true or not. So a rather impressive looking gate there. Lots of references to the Priory around here, so I'm guessing that might be Ware Priory, perhaps. You may remember a site visit rather than the walk I did in, I think it was May 2015, with the brilliant Dave Binns and Gary Lamming from the Bermondsey Joyriders. And we went to a burial mound just near here, between here and Hertford, at Pinehurst. And since then I've researched a number of other places along Ermine Street, sort of between Ermine Street and the River Lee. So this is an area of enormous antiquity. So I'm heading for Thundridge. That's a good name, isn't it? Makes me think of Thor. But that's where I'm heading right now. So this is the new A10, which I think more or less roughly follows the course of Ermine Street, but not strictly. You'll have seen me do a walk along Ermine Street in the snow through the woods at Hoddesdon and Wormley up to Hertford. And of course, we crossed Ermine Street the other week when we walked along the Walbrook down at Shoreditch and Bishopsgate. Just gone to check my map. I haven't got the OS Explorer map, I've got the Land Ranger map, and it's quite an old one, and I just realised it predates the building of the new A10, which isn't on here, so we've just crossed over that. You can see I've marked a number of the prehistoric sites in the Lee Valley on this map here. I was planning these walks in the summer of 2015, so it's taken me a while to get out here. Thundridge. Here it is. I'm looking for a little lane that heads off towards Youngsbury, which is the site of the Mounds. I already like Thundridge, but I like it even more that they've got this OS map here in next to the road. Look at that. There's the pub. Here's an Ordnance Survey map and the War and Old map. So I'm here, and the Youngsbury Mounds are the tumuli. Where are they? There's some moat. The tumuli are there. So this is Cold Christmas Lane where I am. So I'm going to carry on, I think, and then take this footpath through Thundridge to the tumuli. Cold Christmas Lane. It's 3 days before Christmas Day. But not actually very cold. It's about 11 degrees today, so seem to have developed a bit of a tradition of coming to the upper reaches of the Lee Valley just before Christmas. This is, I don't know, this is about the third or fourth year in a row that I've done it. Something that I really love about it, actually. It keeps drawing me up here. So here we have, look, Ermine Street, the little village of Thundridge. Here it is, the old Roman road.
Clutterbuck, about 1829, speaks of the Barrows as standing near the track of the old Roman road called Ermine Street, and mentions the fact that near the spot a tessellated pavement was discovered in the year 1736, tesserae from which were still to be picked up in the shrubbery at Youngsbury.
The footpath to Thundridge Old Church, which I forgot to mention, is also on the route. Look at this, this is great, down this little narrow muddy path here. This is just about wide enough for me to squeeze down. This is funny. And now we're going to go through this gate into a field. This is magical. This is exactly what I needed today. Absolutely perfect. And this path here is going to take us down to the old church, Thundridge Old Church. And the lady I just spoke to there said actually that's where the Mounds are, which is interesting. So here we pass beneath the A10. I should come up close to the old church. I love to see common land. This is Old Church Lane. You can imagine people making their way down here in the gloom to church services. I'd be lying if I said I intended to find myself here, crossing this field. Somehow ended up on Cold Christmas Lane, but I'm glad I am walking across the field back to Old Church Lane. So this is actually Old Church Lane, and that lovely little footpath I mistakenly thought it was earlier on. This is amazing, isn't it? Isn't that fantastic? Can you see it there? The tower of the derelict old church poking through the tree line. Thundridge Old Church. Isn't that lovely? I have to go and get a closer look. So this is a bit special here. Look, you can see the outer ditch or trench of the moat. This was a moated church or a moated site. Look, there's a moat there. I mean, it's very obvious. And the gentleman that was just walking past, who actually very kindly gave me directions back in Thundridge, which I still managed to get wrong. He said there was a whole village here that was abandoned. He says it might have been called Thundridgebury. So here is the abandoned church.
St Mary and All Saints Church is believed to date from the 11th century, and the tower is 15th century. Of course, being an abandoned church, it's caught the attention of ghost hunters who come and nose around in the churchyard at night and spook themselves. Interestingly though, apparently the tower has an unusual north-south alignment that has drawn occultists to the site, and there are stories of satanic rituals being performed in the tower.
What a magical location that was. To be honest with you, I saw it on the map, but it wasn't really on my mind at all. I was so fixated on the burial mounds. It's 3:10 now, so I've really got to crack on to get there in the light. And this is the continuation of Old Church Lane. So I think this is the River Rib, running out of the Hertfordshire hills down to the Lee at Hertford. Or it could be Ware or Hertford, I'm not entirely sure. So this is the hill up to where the burial mounds are, somewhere here. As ever when mound hunting, I'm never 100% sure whether I'm at the right place or not, and I haven't got a very detailed OS map. But I'd say this looks like it could be the mounds. There's two here, one with a ditch cut into it, and then one slightly further north. But they say they command fine views over the River Rib, and the River Rib is just down there at the bottom of the hill. It actually does sort of fit with the location on the map, but on the edge of the wood, where it goes around into a dogleg, which I think is what we've got going on here. So this could be the site of the Youngsbury Mounds. There was a kind of crude excavation of this barrow here in, I think it's 1788, and there were some artefacts that were removed. It's not clear whether they've been preserved. They certainly were recorded. There were Roman coins and arrowheads and some Roman pottery. And the other burial mound was excavated, I think, in 1880 something. I'll put the date here anyway. And again, they found evidence of a cremation burial there. It's said that I think these are what they call Romano British, I suppose, suggesting that they were burials carried out during the period of the Roman occupation, but in a kind of local style, if you like. I think Roman burial mounds are considered to be quite rare, and there's not that many in the country, so these burial mounds here are quite rare specimens, I think. I think I've talked about it before, but part of my fascination with these burial mounds here and the earthworks, the very physical symbols in the landscape of ancient occupation, of the people that really laid down the foundations of the society that we live in today. So these places, these quiet spots in the landscape, for me are very powerful, very poignant, very powerful. They're communicating something to us about who we are and where we came from and why we're living here. I mean, maybe that's all just nonsense, but I keep being drawn back out. It feels really special to be here today. Isn't it perfect to have come here in the midwinter light? I've had this walk planned for a good 3 years, 3.5 years, and always intended to do it in the summer. I come out here today, the day after the winter solstice. Perfect. Just going to carry on up the hill, because looking at my map again, and it's not very detailed, I think I've got it wrong. I think they're up here, and I can see them bold as brass. Isn't that amazing? So, carry over some of what I was saying before. And this is the site here. Really, they're really clear. You can see them, look. Yes. These are barrows. There, look at this. Oh, puffed out from that climb up the hill. But clearly, here we have one barrow, and then behind it the other. Really obviously standing out from the landscape. That's brilliant. It just goes to show. I nearly turned around and went back to Thundridge, and I thought, no, they're going to be up this hill. Wow, there they are. Romano British burial mounds.
John Evans of the Society of Antiquaries excavated one of the Youngsbury mounds in 1890. He writes, "Clearing out the loose gravel and soil still further, a magnificent sepulchral urn became visible, lying slightly on one side. It had split into 3 principal sections and a few smaller fragments, but is in wonderfully good condition and has been well repaired by Mr. Talbot Reddy. When found, it contained a large quantity of apparently well burnt bones in small fragments. It is one of the largest Roman sepulchral ollae ever found in this country, and larger than any of those in the British Museum. To the right of the large urn lay a small globular bottle of light-coloured ware with a lip and a handle. It is of a very common type, of which numerous examples have been found. The third object found was standing in an upright position to the left or west of the principal urn. It's a very large square glass bottle with a thick lip. This vessel is perfect, with the exception of a slight damage to the lip.
I know I've said it before, but where we are now it's an ancient storied landscape. And this is the thing with mound hunting. You know, you've got to go and search them out and find them. Look at this, it's fenced off on the edge of a farm. The midwinter light is fading behind it through the trees. Something really special. I'm going to walk now along this track in the semi-darkness and the fading midwinter light. It's been really good. It's a lovely time of the year for contemplation, to take stock. And what better place to do it by some ancient Romano British burial mounds on the plains in the upper reaches of the Lee Valley. Wonderful stuff. I'll just say thank you for coming on this mound hunting expedition with me. I love it so much. And I just want to say, actually, this will be my last video of 2018. I just want to say a massive thank you to you for all your support. Not just this year, but over previous years as well. Who knows, there might be a couple of people that are watching this channel back in 2006. But certainly the last 3.5 years of making these videos regularly has been a very special thing for me. So I just want to say a massive thank you. And there'll be plenty more in 2019. Wow, 2019, that's the future, isn't it?